Okay, this next character, Lan, we have the Cao Zi, the grass radical. So I'm being tiresome here, but that's grass in the ancient form, Cao Zi, the grass top. And then this set of stuff is phonetic. That is jian. The bottom of it is mean, a bowl. So this thing all in itself is jian and is phonetic for the color blue, which I believe is the name of a plant, could be indigo for the color blue. Hung, shu, shu, and then a short shu. Another one, shu. Pie, hung, dian, and then we do the bowl on the bottom. Shu, hung, zhe, shu, shu, hung, lan. The next one is very basic. We've got a renzapong, the ren, person character, or person radical to the side. And then we join that with the idea and the phonetic, so it's a signific and a phonetic, liang. We've seen that before. So two people, a pair of people, a couple, lia, woman lia, we two, ni men lia. It's written like this, pie, shu. Let's make that longer, shu. Hung, shu. Hung, zhe, go. Pie, dian, pie, dian, lia. The next character, jiao, is depicting hands passing something down to a child. Here we go. This is what's remaining of the two hands, and then the something passing down. And here it is, the child beneath. This is also phonetic here. On the right-hand side, you have bu, which means, anciently, means to strike or hit. So like the Board of Education, I don't think that's how it's related here. But it actually depicted a hand holding a stick. That might help you remember it. So here we have the character jiao to teach. Hung, shu, hung, pie, hung, zhe, one, go, hung, pie, hung. Notice you've got, there's a whole separate stroke next. Pie, na. So this is a component that we see sometimes, which means foot, a foot upside down, so it's not the same as this. Jiao. The next character is an interesting one. We have the sandian shui, 3 drops of water again. On the right-hand side, we have 2 components that are placed together. So this is a feng, but it is not originally related to feng. This anciently is one component joined together, which means a flag. It is combined with zi to form a new compound, which is phonetic in this case, yo. So we have this particular type of flag or pennant called a yo, and then the 3 drops of water are added to it for to wander, to float, to flow along the stream. We've learned it in to swim. Dian, dian, ti. Dian, hung, pie, hung, zhe, go. Pie, hung, hung, zhe, one, go, hung, yo. Here it means, we are learning it for swim. Next character, yong, actually is 2 forms of water. So we have sandian shui, and then the phonetic is yong. It looks like just a dot on top of a bent part of water, shui. So here's shui, sandian shui. And this is originally, well, I'll show you. This is water, shui, in the ancient form. Yong was something like this. It was the flow of water around an island, except I think I actually have it upside down. So an indication of constant flow, something like that. I thought I knew it pretty well, but I don't. An indication of constant flow, or in other words, eternity, forever. But it's just phonetic. In yong, by itself, when it's not used as a component for swim, it means a spring welling up. So here we have dien, dien, ti, dien, and then here, this is important, hung, ja, go, and then hung, or xie, pie, excuse me, this is hung, ja, let me get that right, hung, ja, and then pie, na, yong, fei. So fei in classical Chinese means not. We see it in fei chang because it means not ordinary. Chang is common or usual. Fei chang is extraordinary, unusual, an emergency. So in Japan, the emergency exits are called fei chang men, which is not how you say it in Japanese, but that's what the kanji are. So fei originally was a depiction of onion shoots coming up out of the ground, and then was adapted because of its sound. Hung, 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 shu, shu, hung, 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 fei. Kwai. Here's a radical we don't see very often, the sin ti pong, the heart component raised to the side. So we have the bits of the heart, and the ancient form showed the compartments of the heart with the aorta coming out. In this case, we have this combined with this phonetic guai. So quickly, fast. Heart is used for kwai and for mong, to be quick, to be busy. Kwai. Ti. This is a short form for a more involved traditional character. So we've got bun with ren, renzapong next to it. The body, the form of the person. It is pie, shu, hung, shu go, pie, na, hung, ti. I would write the long form, but you'll have to look that up. This character, next one, signifies nurturing of infants. The top component originally depicted a child, so this is a child in very ancient Chinese, and then it became zi. In the case of yu, it was inverted and then altered for the purpose of the brush strokes. And then the bottom part is body, here flesh, muscle, parts of the body. So yu, to nourish, to take care of a child. Dien, hung, pie, ja, dien, shu, hung, ja, go, hung, hung, yu. Generally speaking, education. Next character, chi, a pond or a pool, 3 drops of water, and the phonetic, which, yeah, is not necessarily phonetic for chi. It doesn't seem like, but it probably was at one point. Dien, dien, ti, hung, go, shu, shu wan, go, chi. Jian is a depiction of, well, this is a depiction, a person, and then the right-hand side is phonetic. Here is an unusual component that we haven't seen very often, and this means to stride, and which originally derived from this character, ch, which means footprint. Don't ask me how this got to that, but we'll just remember that. It's a stride, and you can sort of see that in the meaning, or in relationship to the walking radical. The other component is a hand, perhaps writing 2 strokes, holding a brush. It indicates writing, regulating, managing things. So in the case of this component by itself means to build. You put the renzapong in it, it's just phonetic. It means health. Pie, shu. Hung, ja, hung, 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 shu. Hung, ja, and instead of connecting it, and there's no dot on the top, you cross the na through here. Na. Jian. Shen. This is a depiction of a person with an extended belly. Pie, shu, hung, ja, go, hung, 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 pie. Shen, it actually was a depiction of someone with an extended belly. I would try to draw it, but I don't think I would do justice to it. The next character has 2 components. Duan actually originally meant to forge something, like to pound metal into shape. So it has the metal radical derived from this form, which probably depicted ancient forms of an ingot of metal. So it's written simplified in that way. And then this component, these components over here signify, they're just the sound, the phonetic duan. It means a section or a segment. So it shows this thing on the right, which is a section of a plant. It's been radically altered and it's been struck. This part on the right is something here held by the hand to strike something, to break it down, so you have a section. And just phonetic here, it refers to exercise in the sense that it is forging your body. Pie, hung, 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 shu, go, pie, shu, hung, 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 shu, hung, ja, hung, pie, na. Duan. Lian also refers to smelting things, forging things. We have huo, fire, as the radical, and then we have this that we've seen before in lianxi, hung, and then the hangja, this central part, crosses over. So it's not the same as cha. See that? The shu comes straight down. This is different in this case. And the traditional form looked like this. So you want to remember to get that component crossed over there. We learned it before as in practice with silk, lianxi. This is lian, as in to forge or build. Dian, dian, pie, na. Hung, pie, ja. And then crossing over, hung, ja, go, pie, na. Lien. Xian. So if we remember, jian is a depiction of an eye. This is a traditional form over a person, a leg with an eye with legs. So jian can mean to see, simplified form like this, to see, or it could mean to be seen. Since Chinese characters or verbs aren't inflected, you couldn't tell the difference, but they were pronounced differently. So to indicate the difference, they added this component, which is the shortened form of jade. Xian, to appear before or at the moment, now. Hung, hung, shu, hung, shu, hung, zhe, pie, shu, wan, go, xian. Zuo is only used for the word yesterday. We have sun as the radical, and ja, possibly things being stitched together as a phonetic ja, so in this case zuo. Shu, hung, zhe, hung, hung, pie, hung, shu, hung, hung, zuo. Sai, competition. So at the bottom we have bei, which is a cowrie shell. That suggests the aspect of the competition. And the top part is phonetic. Originally it depicts two hands, so we'll depict like that. And they're filling a room, indicated by the roof, with objects. And those objects are indicated with that. So hands filling a room with objects over money or cowrie shell. So let's start with the room. Dian, dian, hung, go, hung, hung, shu, shu, hung, and then pie, na, hung, shu, hung, zhe, pie, dian, sai. Okay, this yeah is a depiction of leaves on a tree. The traditional character shows these leaves, if I can get it right here, and something like this, and then it comes down to a tree on the bottom. It's just simplified to the top. Leaves of a tree, by extension, a career, the outgrowth of your experience. Bao. In bao, this component itself is phonetic. Bao. It is a depiction of an unborn child, a fetus, that is inside of the mother in the womb. So by extension, to be wrapped, to be full, to wrap, to hug. Pie, hung, zhe, go, hung, zhe, hung, shu, wan, go, bao. Man has three components. This is shu xin pang, which is the heart radical to the side. This is mao, to risk, and then yo, the right hand is on the bottom. So we combine them. Shu, dian, dian, shu, hung, zhe, shu, shu, hung, shu, hung, zhe, hung, 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 pie, dien, man. End of lesson 16.